All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to game number 2. It's IG Invictus Gaming versus LGD China, your second semifinal match for the G League Season 2. It's a best out of 5. The first 2 games will be played today, and then the last 3, if necessary, 4 and 5 will be played tomorrow along with game number 3, starting at 20 SGT. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Winter here on Beyond the Summit. And Winter, I gotta say that game 1, LGD China, that was a mess for them. They drafted a split-pushing lineup. They played it. They built their heroes in very odd ways. Profit went for a Midas, which suggests they want to farm the game and go for later on kind of strategy, kind of timing. And then PL's going for a Diffusal, which is more of a let's fight now item. And then they're trying to 5-man into a much stronger 5-man lineup without the proper vision. Kept on forcing fights, kept on getting picked off. Then they tried to go back to split pushing, but the damage was already done. Something is amuck for LGD China, and the question is, can they sort it out here? Because if they can't sort it out in game 2, then you go into tomorrow having to win 3 games in a row against IG, and that is a position that absolutely nobody in the world wants to be in.
Yeah, it seems that they have their plans all not sorted out this time. We were talking about Director 8 with his script, and I got to say I didn't like the script for the past game where they were trying to go 5-on-5 with a team which has superior team fight, superior AoE than you during the early phases, and they're just trying to force it so much that it cost them so many kills, and the farm on PR wasn't that significant, wasn't magnificent, and they really needed Sylar to be very huge that game to be able to deal with the IG lineup, and he was just constantly trying to join the fights and not being ahead in the CS.
It didn't make, it felt like there were 2 game plans fighting with each other. Profit goes for the Midas, then PLs goes for the Diffusal. The ones for fighting, Diffusal's okay for split pushing, but if you really want to split push, you get a Radiance, and he had the free farm to do it. So it just felt like they drafted for split push, then they were sort of playing to fight, and we talked about this over the break, and they've played so much 5-man as of late. It's almost every game it's been a similar strategy. It felt like they fell into their old habits that game. Like they had one plan with the draft, but then for whatever reason they just slipped into that mentality that they've been used to playing, where they have the stronger team fight, they have Yao on a mag, and they try and force fights, and that's just not going to work when you draft a lineup that can't 5-man. Right now LGD is first pick, and it looks like they're going to be angling for that mag, and they should be able to get it here.
Yeah, I think it'll be a very big surprise if they don't pick up the mag now, because they really want to give Yao something that he's very comfortable with, and it suits their style more than Prophet, which you can see the game before. Oh, they're going for something else.
Uh-oh, what's it gonna be? Here we go. What's that something else? It's very early. Darkseer. Interesting. What do you make of this?
Maybe they're just thinking that IG themselves wouldn't like to go for the mag that early. Probably they're trying to go for even a Darkseer plus mag.
I'm not sure if you can count on that. We've seen IG even offensive tri-lane their mag, with Chuan on Sand King, YYF on mag, and then Keeper of the Light for Faith. Speaking of Keeper of the Light, he's in the pool, and I won't be surprised if IG snap him up here, along with, anyone. Mag's certainly an option if they want to do it.
Yeah, they definitely could pick up the mag plus Keeper of the Light in these 2 pickups. It would be very good for them. Or they could go for even a Brewmaster and a Luna.
Oh, interesting. IG, I gotta say, the Brewmaster and the Batrider, those 2 getting early blinks and not being shut down, it was the little touches that made the difference in the laning stage. As much as we've been talking about what was LGD's game plan and why were they drafting one way and then playing another, you also have to credit IG because they had the early Sentry Ward to spot the smoke gank coming from the top lane. They protected Ferrari a lot better in that game, and also I have to say he played a little bit more defensively, and that made a huge difference for them. If Ferrari had gotten killed off early, the game might have developed a lot more smoothly for LGD, so that was a big difference for me. One of the factors we haven't really discussed much, but you got to credit Ferrari. He played really well that game, and the supports made it much easier for him to stay alive.
It was a crucial sentry to detect the first smoke gang by Tron. They saw them, both of the supports roaming from the river right across, going to Ferrari, and that enabled him to play extra safely because he was able to see when the gang was coming in.
And it's going to be a Leshrac Sven. Is this that solo mid Sven that Chow 8 plays, or sometimes even the dual lane mid?
Yeah, it's going to be most likely a dual lane mid against Ferrari. They're going to do a dual lane against him.
They want to shut him down more this game. What will Ferrari play? Will they go for the Brewmaster? And with Mag, Luna, Brewmaster, that's a pretty filthy 5-man, but they will be lacking for supports, and then LGD can start banning a lot of those out. They go for the Shadow Demon instead.
They want to leave their options open. It's not exactly a good thing where every time you pick up three of your main first row, second row, third row heroes in the first three pickups, it stops you from changing and having more variables in your draft later on. It's always better to pick up a support and off lane and your carry or a solo mid, so that it leaves options open for you for your side of the draft.
Wow, this is interesting. I have a huge respect ban towards Chuan, banning out the Sand King here.
And it's also more of denying IG to be able to run something very aggressive early on, because with Sand King, Shadow Demon plus Sand King, they can be very aggressive early on with that.
It's a hero that nobody else is even picking, but LGD are actually going to ban it just because Chuan's been so damn good on it as of late, and they don't have Sylar's here. We may just see 3 bans targeted directly at him.
Yeah, I think they might even ban even something like Alina to deny them that burst damage.
Will IG go for...
IG banning the Brewmaster themselves, so they might have something up for Ferrari this game.
Yeah, I like this Nake's ban, because I feel like IG is going to go for something a little tricky this game. I feel like it won't just be the one carry. It may be multiple.
Yeah, and Nake's the Lifestealer goes really well against the Sven early on in the lanes. If they decide to put Sven against the Sven mid lane and the Lashrock roaming around, and if they decide to put the Lifestealer in middle, it will be definitely a good choice, because it's so hard to gang the Lifestealer with the Rage as well.
Oh boy. And we see a Beastmaster ban from LGD. That tells you how afraid they are of IG's group up right now, even having some good heroes to fight against that.
I think they could still even go for the Night Stalker and be so crazy.
Oh, and he's pretty good against dual lane mid, because he's so ridiculously tanky. He might not farm that much, but it's hard to keep any hero out of lane mid, and even with Leshrac, Sven, they have some good burst. It's not enough to kill a Night Stalker at the early levels.
Unless he's just being caught out in a bad position. Well, Leshrac and Sven actually deals a lot of damage if he decides to go for Edict, and the Night Stalker's getting caught out in a position where he shouldn't be. He could potentially kill him even if he's at full health.
The thing, though, is can they really go for Edict? Because with Luna Mag, at some point, the enemy team's going to start grouping up and pushing. And the only real counter push they have is Lightning. I would not count Ion Shell or Vacuum later on in the game. Well, there's your counter push, the Keeper of the Lights. So, hey, I'm actually surprised that he slipped through. And IG, they didn't take him. They wanted the Shadow Demon because they saw the aggressive burst damage of LGD and want to make sure they can live through it. But as a result, LGD get their hands on the Keeper of the Light. And do they maybe think about going aggressive tri-lane with this now?
Yeah, they can do it. Definitely they can do it.
First the Luna, too. She's weak against that.
They can choose either to go for the dual lane and just protect the safe lane carry, which I think could be less likely because they just have such a strong tri-lane now. It would be what a waste if they don't do the aggressive tri-lane to shut down the Luna at top.
And then if that's the case, I think we will see Shatway just soloing mid as the Sven. And, you know, well, it could be the Sven Leshrac Keeper as well. Interesting. I wonder which one will go mid, the Darkseer or the Sven.
The last hero would be definitely a Sylar's hero. They can still put the Darkseer in middle and even draft something for... Is there anything to go mid for Sylar right now?
Is it a Shadow Fiend for Sylar? I wonder if that's what they're thinking.
Yeah, it could be a Shadow Fiend because there's Darkseer and they have the Vacuum to use effectively with his Requiem of Souls. That could be a very good pickup for Sylar.
And Shadow Fiend could do pretty well 1v1 versus Mag, especially if he's pulled some regen. He starts with the Wraith Band. Once you get in high enough base damage, you can really control the lane quite well and get a lot of farm. We saw that yesterday from Pycat.
It's not the Shadow Fiend.
Oh, what's it going to be? It's a PL again, but this time they have the Kodal. And this is a much scarier lineup for a PL, I feel.
But it seemed to me for a moment that Shadow Fiend fits well better than in LGD's draft because he just gives the amount of AoE damage, which you can use it well with the Darkseer Vacuum, and the minus armor is really useful for Sven when he just goes on his rampage. With his steroids going on to right-click everyone.
Here's one concern for LGD. IG has the Shadow Demon. Even if your PL gets really fat, it could come back to haunt you.
And what if Rubik steals the ball of Replica as well?
They could have a lot of illusion on their side. Plus, they have Mag, who, with a big RP,
Oh, the last hero. This is the hero. I think it's making a first appearance in the G League.
Juggernaut. Well, we saw DK run this in the group stages, but
Oh yeah,
yeah, but that
okay.
was not very
So it's not the
effective.
first.
Wow. What do you make of this pick?
And it's YYF playing it, so it either
Tri-lane
means
Juggernaut.
yeah, tri-lane Juggernaut, and Ferrari is on the mid lane Magnus. For LGD, okay, I'll start off with LGD. We have DDC on the Lashrock,
Oh no.
SC on the Keeper of the Light, Sylar on the Phantom Lancer, Xiaoye is on his run, it's most likely mid lane, or even the aggressive tri-lane, and finally we have Yao on the Darkseer.
Not this again with the black screen. Alright, I have to restart Dota 2 real quickly. Sorry, guys. We'll be right back inside the game. So,
okay, I'll just introduce IG's heroes as well. We have Faith on the Shadow Demon, YYF on the Juggernaut, Tron on the Rubik, mid lane would be Ferrari on his Magnus, and the safe lane would be Joe on the Luna.
okay, here we go. Let's reconnect to the game. Excellent. And I didn't accidentally leave it, so that's perfect. So, what do you think about this Juggernaut pick? It's a pretty good killing and pushing carry in the early to mid games. I feel like it actually suits IG.
And it's a hero that LGD will find it very difficult to kill because when Stormbolt, it's gonna be very easy for the Juggernaut to dodge it, and that's the only way they can kill him right now because the Lance and the Lashrock stuns are not really reliable spells if you want to kill the Juggernaut. And I think IG would definitely have a better tri-lane at the moment. Shadow Demon, Rubik plus the Juggernaut against Keeper of the Light, Lashrock and Phantom Lancer. Unless DDC is gonna do a fun mirror today with his Lashrock.
Alright. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. And as strong as Keeper of the Light is, how much does he really offer you against Juggernaut? You can't actually nuke him down when he's Blade Furying, and Juggernaut does so much damage that even though they have two supports that don't offer much damage in their own right, they give you tons of setup for that Blade Fury. The support's position is going to be very important in this lane.
Not to mention, Healing Ward is going to be good against the constant Illuminate spam.
So quickly, let's take a look at our other two lanes before the action really picks up here. Xiaoye on the mid, Sven, as expected, up against Ferrari on the mag, so not YYF playing it. That's something a little bit different. He's been the one handling it for the most part. And then top lane. This is going to be a very difficult lane for Zhou. Yao is going to apply a lot of pressure, and this is the one thing that we've discussed, is how do you actually put pressure on a Luna, on that safe lane carry for LGDN. We're seeing a hero that can kind of do it. LGD China's had a lot of practice against this Luna safe lane, because LGD runs it so often, and, we had mentioned Clinks, maybe Broodmother, but Darkseer is a hero that can apply tons of pressure. The only reason we didn't talk about it with LGDN is they normally take it for themselves, but in this game, LGD trying to get it, and I quite like this lane for Yao.
He's gonna be farming a lot better than the Luna because he's just able to, after he clears the creep, he's gonna be having some ample time which he could use it to either clear this camp right here or even the small camp he could choose. And it would accelerate his farm a lot more, and Luna has to take a lot of damage from the creeps because he just has to tank it.
Tron really wants this creep. He will get it. One thing going well for LGD, they have the vision right now in the bottom lane, and that Observer was placed in Vision of a Century. This will be the quickest D-ward of SC's life, and now he goes for it.
I want to mention one important point as well. Tron, he actually picked up the TP. They could potentially pick off Yao if he's just a bit overconfident and... Why is the glyph going off again?
This is the second game. It's just constantly the glyph just popping off all over the place. I don't know. Somebody's got a hotkey messed up.
I think it was LGD the game before, and this game it was IG.
it was Xiao 8 skilling that. I remember that Beastmaster game earlier this tournament. He's not having too much fun with that. With the hotkeys. Yeah. But this time around, it's IG who make the mistake. The thing, though, is LGD's not... I mean, I guess the top lane's getting pushed. Maybe that was it. Zhou's tower taking some damage, but it's kind of early to glyph anyway.
You're glyphing the creeps. 3 creeps hitting our tower. So.
Yeah, it's a little early for that.
And Yao has his soaring up, and you can see he's playing a bit more conservative because he knows that the Rubik has a TP, and if he just starts to deep in or just gets damaged too much, he could just be a victim of a Lucent Beam setup or TP into a telekinesis, and he could have well been the first blood. You can see he's just going back to the front of his lane right now, playing a bit safe.
Yeah, he's probably seen that TP or it's been called out at this point. And comes the one Ion Shell and Joe, but you really need the double Ion Shell to bring him down. And now Yao's got to be careful. There is going to be a Lucent Beam right as the tower's going to work on him. Yao's really, really low. He can surge away that Brain Show in range for a Lucent Beam, but he can't find it. He didn't have the mana, and he got fogged. A close call there. Very, very close call.
Yeah, he was just a bit too over-aggressive, and he tried to right-click the Luna, and the tower was defending the Luna by attacking the Darkseer, and the Lucent Beam mini stun and just dealt so much damage plus the tower right clicks on him. He just was almost dead there. And I think if it wasn't because of the fog, because Luna had 100 mana, just enough on time when his Lucent Beam cooldown to actually drop one more.
That 4-minute rune is spawning, and Chuan picks up an illusion rune. That will make things a little bit more annoying in this lane. But I gotta say, so far for LGD China, the tri-lane's going well. They're not really... The tower's not taking too much damage. PL is getting decent farm. He's a little bit behind Juggernaut, but he's not being completely shut down, and they're getting good trades elsewhere. Xiaoweight's doing reasonably well mid. Not CSing quite as well as Ferrari, but considering the matchup, it's very good for him. He's been battle crowing more than Ferrari. And Yao's having a great time top, so... I think considering how last game started, they have to be pretty happy with this.
Yeah, and as long as Yao doesn't feel safe to skip the creeps behind.
Oh, SC! Are they going to go on him? They're not. Actually, Chuan's the one in trouble. Here comes the Illuminate, just missing, but Sylar, there's no salve, there's no regen on Chuan. It could be the first blood, but the disruption is here, and YYF just going to back off. That was a close call.
Yeah, and I want to say that just now, because of Rubik having a TP, it just doesn't enable Yao to play so aggressive at the top lane, and it's a very important thing because now Luna is having much of a better time in the lane. He's farming a lot better compared to before, and Yao doesn't feel comfortable at all trying to go back to the lane again to skip behind the creeps.
I think it's also the fact that he was too aggressive earlier, where he lost so much HP that he couldn't even push the wave anymore. When he tried to tower dive, he was going for the double Ion Shell first blood attempt on Joe, but one of the creeps with the Ion Shell died, and so that combined with the TP, really forcing Yao to play a lot more defensively than he would like.
Yeah, and if you have to stand in the lane against a range hero which has so much damage at Luna, you're gonna just take so much harassment. You can see he just parried a salve over and he's down to 200 health again.
And she's actually starting to pull ahead in the harass, where you really want to be backstabbing the creeps. You don't want to just sit there and take Lucent Beam spam. Ferrari is going to win the man fight because Xiaowei just backs off, was worried about getting skewered into a bad position, and concedes the double damage rune there to Ferrari.
If you would just been skewered up the hill there, and it would take him so long to get back down, it would effectively lose him the lane already.
The one thing that's going well is just the constant Illuminate spam in this bottom lane is really preventing IG. They can't get aggressive because the lane's never pushed, so you can't go in for the disruption, the telekinesis lift. Maybe they should be trying to smoke gank because I feel like these supports aren't doing anything bottom.
I've almost died there. He just didn't expect that much of damage coming into him. He took a full Illuminate damage and a Spirit Lance from the Phantom Lancer, and he was down to like 50 health. Almost died there.
What's the old saying? Don't go aggressive against Keeper of the Light. We're seeing why again. And that's even with the great kill lane for IG. This is one of the strongest kill lanes, I gotta say. Just having Disruption, Telekinesis, Soul Catcher, tons of setup, and lots of burst. And they are gonna smoke mid. I like this. I think mid anyway. Maybe they'll go bottom, but this is a smart decision because they're just not accomplishing anything standing in the lane.
Yeah, and they don't have vision up right now. I think they still don't. Oh, they have it right now. They're gonna ferry the wards to Faith, and they really need to set up some visions right now to help at least be safe and help him control the rune. If not, he's just going to be so afraid to go for the rune.
Oh, Stormbolt on mid. Ferrari's low, but he gets disrupted, and he will have RP if he wants to turn this around. Blows the RP, but to what end? Now skewered back into the tower. What a big play, but not quite enough. Xiaowei gets the first blood with one big cleave from that great sword of his, and now DDC on the way out. They were expecting a gank mid. DDC was just sitting there waiting, but it was one hero too many. They weren't prepared for that disruption.
I think they were actually not the ones expecting the gank, they were the ones trying to gank, because in 30 seconds ago...
Oh, YYF. Uh-oh.
I think he's fine. 30 seconds ago, Sven actually tried to go on the Magnus before, but Leshot wasn't too sure of it, and he didn't follow up with the Spirit of Hand. He was just waiting for a second better chance. He wasn't really trying to expect a smoke gang there from IG.
And here's the nice thing is, they forced the RP out of IG, and they also forced the 2 supports away from bottom lane. Sure, they weren't doing much there. Nice dewarding by Xiaowei, but now it's leaving Juggernaut in a really bad position, where PL... And when these heroes are just left alone in the lane, PL can out-harass the Juggernaut easily. And even if you use the healing ward, Sylar can just send the illusion to go kill it, so it's very difficult for Juggernaut to stand alone.
Yeah, and not to mention, no, Luna, the good thing about IG right now is Luna's getting lots of farm at top. He's having much of a safer time just by the fact that Chuan got that early TP, and he stopped the Darkseer from going too aggressive to skip the creeps behind. That was a very crucial play from Chuan, and very effective as well.
And we've never... The funny thing is we haven't actually seen the TP, it's just the threat of it that does all the work.
Yeah, it's the threat where... It's the same as before the past game, and I was talking about if you're a hero that controls the game tempo, like a Beastmaster or Batrider, you just don't want the enemy heroes to have sight of you all the time.
Sylar, they need to land the Soul Catcher. Can they do it? Faith isn't finding it. They will dust him. They pull him back, but he's still alive. They really need that Soul Catcher. Now it goes, but it's too late. And now YYF may even be turned around upon. He's got the Phase Boots cooling down in 3 seconds. The Healing Ward drops, but in comes the Illuminate. Healing Ward is killed off. He just gets away. They needed that Soul Catcher, but they just couldn't land it on Sylar. He really didn't have an opening to get it for sure.
Top lane, top lane.
Yeah, now Zhou in trouble. He's got Eclipse, but he won't be able to use it. It looks like LGD either smoked up here, or did they just wait? I guess they just waited for the wards to die, and then they ran up top.
Let me check. I'm gonna check.
Let's see, did they smoke?
They
did smoke. They did smoke.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, there was one smoke already used. And it was a very crucial kill to get because Luna was having just too much of a comfortable time at top. And they just need to slow him down because look at the CS. PL is so much behind before, at least 20 creeps behind.
When it comes to net worth, he's about 500 gold behind, which, to be honest, isn't that much, but it really goes back to the kill, like you said. And now Xiaowei just continue to be aggressive. His solo mid, Sven, I have to say, it's worked out surprisingly well for them in the past, but I feel this game is going to be the real test because there's a lot of heroes that just make it hard for Sven to go in. And we'll see if Xiaowei can really find those openings. He's found one, but I don't think his work is done yet. They're going to need some more effective ganks from him.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if he goes for a dagger even before his Black King bar this game because they
He
really
loves
need
that
someone
dagger.
Yeah, they really need someone to initiate. Look at the heroes. They have very few initiation tools. You can't really... Oh, top lane. Oh, Yao almost went down.
Yeah, he throws the Lucent Beam out, but... Oh, in comes Ferrari! He was baiting, it's a trap, Xiaowei, and you just fell for it. Or maybe not. And then comes the Omni Slash after the Soul Catcher, but no mana for the follow-up, and now YYF may be the one who's trapped. Illuminate doing huge dirty work. And it ends up being YYF who falls there. Wow. It was first a trap for Xiaowei, but then the real trap was sprung. Meta trap.
And not to mention, last shot was he managed to hit the split up there without any setup, and that was very crucial because the tower was damaging the Juggernaut, and he took so much damage there that enabled them to kill him. Is
this guy Fenrir or is he DDC?
We're seeing a Fenrir, another face of it.
The man's been everywhere. And I like this, they put the Observer Ward top because Yao, he still needs to farm those next items.
Top lane, Xiaowei is coming to gank the Luna again, and I think there's a huge chance he'll be successful right here.
She has no vision. Keeper of the Light summoning someone else in, I think. No, not yet, but he's ready to.
Don't summon Sylar. Sylar needs to farm.
He's gone for power treads this game and Bracer, just trying to get as tanky as possible. We'll see the drums next. Are they going to go in Zhou? Here's the TP. They expect something. They're suspicious. Xiaowei's missing. What a time for him to go in. Fate spots him out with the poison. Oh man, that was just the worst timing in the world.
Yeah, because they had vision at mid lane, and when the creeps are hitting the tower right here in mid lane, going at the tower, and there's no one defending it. It's just something fishy is going on. No one's farming the mid lane. Where is the director of LGD?
Oh, mid lane, they're going to go on a Ferrari. He does have Skewer, but he's dropping low. He will fall before he can skewer away. And that's Fen, even without any real DPS items. You see, he's just he still can burst you down quickly, and once again, really nice chain stun from the Leshrac.
One very important thing to note. The Shadow Demon TP at top and the Rubik TP at middle, and Sylar is left alone at bottom.
Sylar, he's gonna have a better time this game. They've got a lot more heroes that can fight with him. So if he wants to go Diffusal Blade, I think it's a much better game to do it than last game. Last game, it seemed like he really needed to go for split push, but this game, he's got a team that can fight in a big way.
And it'll be interesting to see All the illusions everywhere. Shadow Demon, Darkseer, and Phantom
Massive armies of illusions.
And not to mention the Keeper of Light spam and the Leshrac spam will be so chaotic in the fights. You can't see whose illusions is whose.
When it comes to gold, when it comes to experience, it's going to be a pretty big lead for LGD. And going into this mid game, IG, it's going to be hard for them to pick fights, I feel.
I think it's just because of the kills. They are doing nothing much really in significance to out CS, and it's just the extra goal comes from the 4 kills which they managed to have.
And Sylar gets the tower bottom, just continue to accrue a bigger and bigger advantage. Chuan rotating down. These supports from IG, they've been moving a lot, but they haven't really been as efficient as they would like, and you have to credit LGD for good positioning with that. Ferrari, he's going for the mech, which means their initiation, IG's initiation, I have to say, is a bit lacking. Sure, they've got the single target, the telekinesis lift, and the disruption, but they don't have a big AoE initiator the way that Sven can be, just running in either Surged or Warcry, and maybe even blinking in if he goes for that. I'm getting a little worried about IG's ability to fight here. But Ferrari comes in, he RPs, and now Skewer Shoei back into the tower. Will they Eclipse for this as well? They may have to. He's low, but he's not dead yet. The Shockwave just enough to get the kill. Now the follow-up from the Shadow Demon. Buyback from Shoei. We saw this last game. Here comes the Eclipse. What can Shoei do? He rejoins the fight. Stormbolt on 2. But where's the follow-up? Stormbolt was stolen by Chuan. Tosses it back in there. Lobs it in for the stun. A big overextension from LGD, and a nice play by Ferrari getting that invis rune, and there was no vision of that. LGD just never saw it coming.
I'm trying to question again, why is he buying back even though he's not needed?
Why is what? Who buying what?
Why is Xiao 8 buying back again when the fight is...
Oh, why is he buying back? I thought you said buying that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
He's just doing it all the time where I think he just has to control himself where... he's a Sven.
The director needs a director of his own.
Yeah, he's a hero which relies a lot on farm as well. He's not just like the Beastmaster. Oh, look at the stack there, man.
Well, there's your farm. Need farm? We got farm.
Yeah, and you haven't seen LGD doing a lot of stacks because the game was so tight, and they just have the heroes to do it, and they have to get every bit of extra XP and levels from the neutrals. Because they won the earlier than IG from the Keeper of the Light, and he's already started out with the headdress.
You know, the one thing I really dislike this from that engagement is Sylar joined the fight mid, and he didn't do anything, really. He could have been farming bottom. He had to walk all the way back. He doesn't have Diffusal Blade yet, and even if you're going for a fight early build, you need Diffusal Blade to engage. You're not going to offer your team much at all at this level with just drums and treads.
It comes on the fact where you talk about just now, they were just being too accustomed to play something like a 5-man Dota, and even when they are not doing it, it just comes to your habit where you feel like TPing in, like you have the superior fight, when you shouldn't have been TPing in.
I mean, they have a better fight this game, but I still feel like just get the Diffusal Blade up, then you can go and be aggressive, and you'll have a lot more success, but, you know, like you said, they're just accustomed to it.
He doesn't have to worry anything about the tower. There's the Illuminate and Lightning Storm. How is IG going to push against that?
Yeah, it's not happening. But one thing they can try to do is Ninja Roshan. I don't know if they'll succeed at this. I
think the Ward saw them.
Yeah.
The Ward saw them.
Let's see. Radiant Vision. Yeah, they have some really good vision of this.
I saw Chuan there.
And here comes the Illuminate spam. One of the most annoying things when you're trying to Roshan the pit.
Oh, they're going to do this very slowly. They are very desperate already, you can see IG, because a lot of things are not going their way, and they're trying to... I don't know, they don't have a medallion, it's just so hard to do it right now.
Yeah, with a medallion, it would be much easier, because they have good physical damage.
Their set of heroes are just not some lineup which can take it down really quickly, like when usually you do it when you have the Lanaya or the SF, the Aura, to take down the Roshan's armor. But they have nothing right now, they just have the Luna's Blessing and the Empower, which is level 1.
Not often you see IG force something like this, and this could end in a disaster, because Darkseer can set up a big Stormbolt, can set up a big splitter.
I was gonna scout this.
I mean, they already know. Right? They already saw it.
No, they didn't know that they went back in again, and the Illusion scouted it. And the Roshan is at half-life right now. They have to contest this.
You have to be suspicious, even if you don't see it when there's this many heroes off the map, and they were just in the pit.
They're gonna just try to force the mid tower, because they know IG is gonna take a long time to do the rush.
Yao has a Vanguard. Even if you can catch him.
He doesn't have the wall yet. Yao doesn't have the wall yet. I want to point that out. It's very important.
He does still have Vacuum, though. We could see that big Vacuum into a Stormbolt into a Split Earth. If they can hit that and Illuminates on top of it, you're in a lot of trouble. Yeah, GG. Well, at least fight's over, that's for sure.
That fight's over if he lands that.
And wow, how convenient is this for Sylar? He's pushing his own safe lane, he's constantly scouting the pit with his illusions, and they're just gonna get... Once this tier 1 mid falls, they can really fight the pit. I don't think IG can do this. Once that tower's down, it's gonna be so hard to engage.
Yeah, and not to mention that they are actually far more lower levels than the two supports compared to the LGD support because of that failed... I wouldn't say... I would call it a failed tri-lane because they didn't even manage to get a kill when they have the superior lineup.
And it was a killing tri-lane. That's why you picked the Juggernaut.
Yeah, and they paid the price by having... Look at the levels of their supports and LGD's level and the farm. They have more farm.
In comes the Illuminate, catches Faith. He's not able to disrupt. They need to lift Xiaowei right now. Damage already done. Out comes the Eclipse. Now the RP. And the Eclipse actually missing there on a few Lucid Beams. Stormbolt was stolen. Chuan delivers. Catches out too. Level 1 Edict is channeled. On the other side of play, it's Juggernaut running away. Sylar giving chase. The Omni Slash has already been used up. And how many can Sylar clean up now? That's going to be the big question. Is IG really winning this fight? And that was only a 1 hero RP. It wasn't even that amazing. Still giving chase to YYF. Buyback from the Leshrac. They really want to contest this Roche. Luna picks up the kill and keeper of the light. Still YYF running. YYF should fall momentarily. DDC back into the fight, but what can he do? The stolen Stormbolt keeping him alive. And YYF lives with 30 HP. And another buyback from LGD, but a buyback that accomplishes nothing. Second time this game. Third time at least this series.
They're going back into the Roshan, and LGD has 2 heroes still on the side, and the Roshan is really low.
Can they get there in time? The wall is up now, albeit a level 1 wall, but even then if it's placed at exactly the right time...
They have to go in now.
They are going to go in now, it looks like. Sylar's getting close to that Diffusal Blade, doesn't have it yet. IG's waiting up on the hill. Ferrari does have Skewer and the mech, but doesn't actually have RP for 60 seconds. They may just wait until RP's back up and then look to fight. We'll see. In comes the Lucid Beam. Then Joe just runs back up the hill. Wily little one. The illusion scouting everything out. There will be no surprises this game, except for perhaps this surprise. Not scouted. Oh man, just misses.
Xiaowei tried to bait that. He just walked in their faces into the Rosh pit, and he didn't do the Rosh, and he was just standing there, but he was scouted by Fate with the Shadow Poison. He was trying to bait IG to come down this ramp right here to be in a bad position.
Yeah, and the Xiaowei can't do this that quickly, but with Sylar here, maybe they can bring it down. They have Warcry. It's a big wraparound from IG. They're coming from the north side, scouting this out. Xiaowei, the stolen Stormbolt, catches 3. Now a skewer in from Ferrari. Hello, sir. He says that car can hit pretty damn tough. Doesn't look like a sports car to me. Looks more like an 18-wheeler. Now bringing the Leshrac down. Onto Yao. Upwards. And they're going to pick him off too. IG just gave them the runaround. And wow, that stolen Stormbolt from Chuan just won them a huge fight. And off of that, they're easily going to claim Roshan.
Yeah, and I wanted to say that it was YYF that draw the lines to go around them. He probably came up with the plan.
YYF directing this fight.
Out-directing Director 8.
Director 8 needs a director. He's got to calm down a little bit. I mean, like you said, they're just forcing things too much. And, you know, it started with those buybacks. I don't know. This is looking bad now.
They were too over-aggressive when they just went in. It was so dangerous if whoever gets caught out inside that congested area in the pit right here would be destroyed by the AoE. Whoever goes in will be in the bad position.
And LGD had the chip away at you lineup. They could just throw the Phantom Lances in there, the Illuminates. They didn't really have to commit, but they did, and it cost them.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they were making a lot of weird and dubious decisions these 2 games.
I do have good news though. Sylar, if he wants the Diffusal Blade, he's almost got it, and he's just gonna purchase it now. So he gets a very crucial team fight item for them.
He's been enjoying the fight so much, and look at his score, still 0 assists. It's not showing that him joining the fight is making a lot of difference for LGD.
In spite of out farming Zhou, he's behind when it comes to net worth, and Zhou is up to 3.8k. That Manta style or the BKB is going to be coming out any moment now. BKB purchased.
BKB.
Yeah. Yikes.
Top lane, are they going to catch out this blade-footing Juggernaut? I don't think so.
I don't know. They're going to try and push the tower. And IG is really not in position to defend this. They will glyph, but I'm not sure if they really want to try and fight. Yao doesn't care about Omni Slash. That's how tanky he is. Runs directly on top of YYF. They do get the tier 1.
He doesn't care because he's just having a haste, and even though if he just Omni Slashes in, he just run right towards his teammates, and it'll be the Juggernaut's turn to be the one in trouble.
Oh, IG, they saw 5 top. They're now 5 smoke. They're hoping to catch heroes rotating towards the middle lane. And Faith gonna do some warding to start this one up. Oh boy.
Yeah, they didn't have any vision on the map before.
Yeah, but they're all off the map now, so LGD should be suspicious. That's 5 heroes off the map.
Both side doesn't have a lot of vision on the map. Even for LGD, they didn't have a ward. They just bought a new setup of wards.
I guess the difference is LGD just smoked, so they know they're not going aggressive. IG saw that, so perhaps it looks like the smoke gank is also not going to accomplish too much. The LGD smoke gank was okay though, because they got a tier 1, so a small win for LGD, and Sylar just going to try to angle for late game here. If this goes late enough, I'm not sure. There's a Shadow Demon on IG, so you can never say having a fat PL will win you the game. I mean, really, it's true though.
Shadow Demon can be the carry anytime.
And they already have the Luna, who's very, very annoying to deal with too.
Why is Sylar here to defend the tower? He should be farming bottom, or he's going right now.
Actually, I almost want to say LGD, they have to take the initiative this game. Like, if they just sit back, eventually, with Mag and with the ability to steal the Shadow Demon, even if he gets, or the Phantom Lancer illusions. Oh, this could be trouble. Ferrari comes in, only catches Xiao 8, but will it be enough with that RP? Now the Eclipse doing some good damage, but not as much as the AoE coming out from LGD. Zhou's dropping low. Zhou BKB'd up. He is starting to take some damage here from Sylar, and as soon as that BKB wears off, he's in a lot of trouble. Split Earth brings him down once. The Aegis may pop again. LGD looking to take this fight convincingly. Xiao 8 bought back yet again. Zhou in a lot of trouble. And this buyback, again, not going to do anything with it. There's no Roche, it's dead. There's nothing to accomplish with this.
They are killing everyone already, even without him. He's just buying back all the time. It hurts his economy a lot.
And he can be that secondary carry later on in the game. And you want that cleave against a hero like Luna, as well as if Phantom Lancer's illusions are being used against you, you want cleave for that too. So this really could come back to hurt LGD. All that being said, it was quite a good fight for them.
What's the use of your cleave when you have only no items to go with it?
I agree. You don't have to convince me. You need to convince Xiao 8. And he, say what you will about him, I think he's very, very stubborn at times.
You need to be stubborn to be a good director.
You do. You can't be there's some really good sage Chinese saying about it. It's like you can't be like the willow that just bends with the winds, you know, something along those lines. You have to be firm.
The one controlling the wind.
You have to be resistant to those. I know there's a really good saying, but I just can't quite remember what it is. Someone will probably mention it in the chat. Well, but at the same time, you can't be too firm, or you're inflexible. You're likely to snap.
And I don't know if Sylar will be going for a much more speed push heavy items like a Manta, or he might. I don't think he needs to go for the heart, which he opted to go for before, because it's really hard to take down right now in the fights where they have so much cover for him in the form of the Darkseer and the Sven. He's always not the one being targeted down, so he might be going for a much more aggressive items like Manta or even an early Butterfly.
Let's see. Of course, if you go for Butterfly, there's still the cleave factor from the Magnus, and that's something Juggernaut, if he gets bigger later on, can just attack another hero and bring your illusions down that way.
But the evasion would definitely help against the right clicks. They have so much right clicks from the Luna and the Juggernaut.
And also, that's another point to be made. If this goes late, Juggernaut can be a very fearsome secondary carry, and he can assassinate supports, and like you said, they're smoke ganking.
Mid lane, is he gonna get caught? Oh no, he's surging away.
Yeah, it was
he's not even maxing his vacuum right yet. He got 3 levels on Surge.
Very curious. And does have the 2 points wall of replica at least.
The sentry spotted them out. There was a sentry right there.
Another failed smoke gank from IG.
And Fate has gem up. You can see that IG and LGD, they're always getting very early gems to help to scout the visions and to deny wards. You don't see that in the rest of the teams.
I just have a feeling about this game. We may be in for the long haul. It's slowed down quite a bit, and we have a lot of heroes who, you know, are going to benefit from farm, are going to want to push this late.
When you look at the lineup, both lineup has a lot of late game potential. You have the Leshrac, the Sven, Darkseer Illusions, which will be very deadly at the late game phase. And for IG, you have definitely the Luna. Luna, Magnus, and the Juggernaut are all good late games. Not to mention the Shadow Demon being the carry later on because of the Phantom Lancer.
Also, the Rubik can be a huge playmaker. We saw that earlier with the Stolen Stormbolt. And, you know, even stealing something like Illuminate can be very annoying too.
So I think I will be looking forward to him stealing the wall. And it can be really interesting from then.
Yeah, the wall's tricky. You don't want to be in too close to drop it, but we'll see. Chuan is getting that Force Staff and it's coming soon.
Yeah, he has a lot of assists and no deaths at all. He's able to get a lot of items on his support, even though they are not really leading by a lot of towers. They're 1, 2, 3 towers, no, 2 towers behind at the moment.
Yeah, you can see 4 towers currently down on the side of IG, only 2 down on the side of LGD. And when you have Keeper of the Light and Phantom Lancer, this really adds up because they can already push out the lanes very easily. And with those towers up, they have much better staging areas to do it from.
And LGD has a pipe and mecha already. They have everything they need to team fight for now.
They've had the pipe for a good couple of minutes here. Darkseer is very, very farmed in spite of... I mean, not quite there with the Luna, but still very close.
I think they should just get a trade right now. They shouldn't defend bottom, yeah. They're going to go for the top and middle.
Xiaowei getting close to his BKB as well. That will really help him in these fights. It's going to force them to use something like the RP to deal with him.
They spot the Lash Rock there. I don't know if he's going to get cut out. There's a ward there.
Yeah, this ward spotted him, rotating into the small camp.
Oh, he's going to get caught, yeah.
Oh, he's definitely going to get caught now.
Oh,
no, Chuan's TP'd. He's like, oh, hey, DDC, I didn't realize you were here. Surprise. Now the splitter's stolen. DDC is going to melt. No way out for him. Wow, they TP'd the entire team to try and kill those supports. To call it overkill, really, because I don't even know if they'll get Faith. Maybe they will. There's your surge in from the Darkseer, but... That was a big overreaction, I think.
Yeah, they don't have a gem right now.
And there's an Invis Magnus.
Yeah, look at the vision of IG. They have a lot of vision on the Radiant side jungle, and they're pinning everything. I think they're gonna get a kill here.
DD? No, DD has a gem.
I thought he... Oh, he just got it?
Yeah, he just got it. Just delivered.
I remember I clicked him before. He didn't have it.
The problem, though, is he's got the gem, but they haven't dewarded yet.
Oh, Sylar! He's in trouble. They saw him. They saw him.
Oh, they're giving chase. He's invisible right now. Can he TP out in time? Are they going to go on this Ferrari? Is he just going to guess? No, he's not. Imagine if he guesses there and just RPs thinking he's TPing out in that location. That would be amazing, but...
If he was a hero like something else which has a lower cooldown stun, he would definitely have guessed, but not on RP.
Not with RP. Then LGD says, alright, we're going straight down mid after that. Or we're just farming very aggressively.
And it could be one of the worst timing to try, because the Roche is almost going to spawn as well, and it could have been a very deadly...
I just wanted to see a Wodota play, but of course, not a smart idea in that situation.
I want to see a lot of stuff happen in the competitive mode of play. You want to see the illusion walls, you want to see some Wodota play. What else do you want to see?
G-League has spoiled us, hasn't it? We've had so many crazy games. More than any other tournament I've cast. I mean, even TI, maybe TI2, but aside from that, nothing's really coming close for me.
Yeah, and for now, it's going to be the Roshan again. Everyone's just playing so safe. No one's getting caught up with the smokes, and it'll be down to the Roche to force a fight. But YYF is still quite far away, and he's going to TP now in the fog.
And DD's also not really in position. That Keeper of the Light, he's got the mech and the gem. He's a very important hero for them in these engagements. And they will spot this ward mid soon. Doesn't look like IG's really committed to this. They're more just trying to create some pressure around that Roshan area to force a reaction from LGD.
Yeah, and Sylar doing what you said before. He's just constantly sending illusions into the rush pit, making sure that there's nothing going on there which they don't know.
32 minutes in, and this game, it still has that feeling about it.
Oh, he's still going to hard, Sylar. He's still going to hard. I thought he would be opting to go for something more aggressive, more damaging.
The one thing that LGD does seem to be lacking right now is, do they have enough damage? I'm not convinced they do.
They're relying a lot on the vacuum combo and the wall of replica, and if the fight really drags out, the illuminate spam would be one of the few other ways to deal a lot of damage. But I just think that it would be better for him to go more damage, because he doesn't seem to be the one getting focused down in the fights.
Here we go, Keeper of the Light. Hasn't recalled. Oh, Roche is dropping low. The Illuminate spots it out, but I don't know if they'll be able to get here in time. And they're going to go. Xiaowei, he's smoked up. That's revealed. And now Faith dodges the stun with the... Wow, what a play by Faith. Roche will fall. Aegis picked up by Zhou. LGD too late to react, and also not getting any kind of trade whatsoever. I guess Sylar's got his heart. And now it's going to be up to LGD to just play defensive, try and wait until this Aegis expires, or find a trade somewhere else.
I think they'll probably just try to wait out the Roshan timing and fight later on. Because they're just gonna be, it's gonna be a bit risky right now if they go head on with the fight with the Aegis, and there's always a reverse polarity that's going to be very dangerous for them. And if with the Aegis, he could just wait for the right timing, wait even more for the right timing to land a good reverse polarity.
We're seeing the big downside of all those buybacks from Xiao 8 earlier, as well as just the style of Sven he plays, which is very map control centric, very ganking oriented. He has no farm, just the BKB and treads, which is good basic farm, but remember, this was their solo mid. You compare that to even the Mag's a good 2k ahead of him, and he's going to have a much bigger impact, I feel, in these team fights, especially because Sven's up against Demonic Purge, he's up against RP. Who knows if he'll ever be able to auto-attack in a team fight.
And he's not getting too much of a farm at the towers because the Lashrock and the Keeper of the Light are just blasting everything down.
Those buybacks, we questioned them earlier, will they come back to haunt them now? We'll see.
The buyback, I think the two buybacks were the case of the 2k goal he was behind against the Magnus.
Yeah, because it's, I mean, also when he bought back, it's not like they got anything out of it. That's the other thing.
Yeah, both the two buybacks, he didn't get anything at all. His team was already destroying the fight at top when he bought out, and the mid lane when he bought out, there was nothing going on already.
I want to say this is almost a must-win game for IG, or for LGD China. If they lose this game, they're down 2-0 going to the next day, and the Illusion Wars begin.
Shadow Demon has his own illusions already.
Oh no, this is that problem we talked about. And it's not even that you need the illusions are going to help you just to siege the tower. You don't even have to necessarily use them to win a huge fight like that DK game.
They're already going back because the lanes are pushing for them and they don't want to waste any farm. And it's going to be another 3 minutes, 3 minutes before, 4 minutes before the Aegis expire. They have to wait out another 4 minutes to take a fight.
They do have a very good turtling lineup, but can they turtle their way to victory in this game? The longer it drags on, the better and better it seems to feel for IG. IG has two carries who are going to be very strong in the fights. The Juggernaut, the Luna, and even the late game Mag can be devastating. Plus, they've got the best late game supports. They've got the Shadow Demon, who can create his own army of Phantom Lancers. He's also just got Demonic Purge, which is great against Sven, and not too bad against Phantom Lancer. And then you've got Rubik, who could steal a lot of amazing spells. They have to turtle right now, Winter, but can they turtle their way to victory? LGD has done it many times, but when they've done it, it's been the Yao Mag on their side. They've often had the better late game composition. I'm not convinced at all that they have it in this game.
I think it's still fine for them because they have the Darkseid, which could be really helpful when he catches the Luna in the wall. That could turn things around as well. And not to mention, Lashrock is also better at the late game when he has more items. Oh, top lane.
Uh-oh, we might see that Elusive Beam initiate. He is going to dodge the Stormbolt with a nice Manta-style timing. Blaken from Ferrari. RP catches two. Now skewering the one back. Of course, skewer doesn't affect magic community units anymore, so it doesn't bring Xiao 8, the one who is low. Now, YYF going, chopping away, spinning and slicing and dicing. The Blade Master has already used it, but another two-hero split Earth. The Omni Slash is down. They force staff Ferrari back to safety. Is IG overextending here? They've got the Aegis, but Luna comes back with no Manta, with no BKB if she dies, and it looks like Zhou may even want to just die. Like you said, the Aegis is ending soon. Not the best engagement, but it looks like they may be able to get the tower, or maybe not. Yao's coming in. He's still got the wall. Chuan on the way out. Faith on the way out. Xiao 8 TP's in. There's your Stormbolt. Chuan in a lot of trouble, but he has... No, he stole Doppelwalk, but can't get away. Cute play. That was a really sloppy engagement from IG.
There was also Illuminate coming in to kill him. I don't think he would have survived, regardless.
I want to point out, the Skewer nerf had a huge impact there. Back when it affected magic immune units, that Sven would have been dead, even with the BKB. But because he had a BKB, he didn't get skewered back to the enemy team. He was able to live, come back in, and set up that kill on Rubik. So that nerf, a lot of people said, oh, he's still got RP, he's still totally broken. And yes, he's very strong. But the nerfs are having some impact in this game.
Yeah, Skewer is really too much. A non-ultimate spell with goes through BKB. There's not many spells that can... Let me think, how many non-ultimate spells go through BKB?
There's not... There's some, but there's not a whole lot. There's a lot of abilities in this game. I wouldn't try to do that off the top of your head.
Yeah, and Skewer has a 1200 range, and not to mention he deals damage. It's really too much when you have a hero which has two spells that go through BKB. That's really too much.
Well, I gotta also credit LGD China for good positioning. They didn't get caught by a huge RP. 2 heroes, that's sort of expected. If it's when you give up 3, 4 plus that it really becomes an issue. So, a good engagement from them. RP is off cooldown. And the other thing is, the longer this goes... that double RP is coming soon. Sylar's gonna lead the way. Joe's gotta run. And Faith looking to make his own illusion army very soon, I think.
His Aegis will be out in another 30 seconds.
Do they try to fight now, though? It looks like they're not.
Could fight. They could always recall Sylar when they need to. And Luna is really not in a very good condition to fight. His mana is not at its maximum pool. If they get another few harass on his mana with the Phantom Lancer illusions or even the mana leak, he could have a lot of mana issues in the fight.
So Xiao has gone for a Vlad's. There's a lot of physical damage. He wants the armor. Is it gonna... It's gonna limit his late game carry potential even further, though.
His late game potential is going to be really close to very minimal. And he just wants to support Sylar at the moment. BKB charge him and Stormbolt and have the offerings aura to help him.
It's always been what LGD looks for. Is just for Sylar to get really fat. They don't run multiple carries very often. In comes the spam. And now, what was stolen by Chuan? I heard something. Oh, they're gonna catch out Chuan. He stole vacuum. Is it the right place to vacuum? Huge RP from Ferrari. How many times have we seen these huge RPs in this tournament? But where's the follow-up? Is it actually going the other way? I'm not sure. The gem's on the floor. It looks like Yao will fall to one more Lucid Beam. There's no mana for it on the other side of play. DDC about to drop. Thrown up in the air. Faith dropping low. Sylar's illusion army. They didn't bring him down, and now he's starting to drag the fight in their favor. Zhou, no Aegis for him. Gem is being pinged right now, but Zhou's the one who needs to retreat. Illusions here, illusions there, illusions everywhere. It looks like Chuan and the Shadow Demon, both of the supports from IG bought back, but didn't really accomplish too much with their buybacks.
Yeah, but the good thing is Joe didn't die even though he didn't have the Aegis. And it was because of the huge RP there. If he would have gotten even one hero less, I don't think the fight would have gone in their favor. Even they got such a good RP, I think it was 3 heroes in it, and the fight was still sort of even, 3 down on each side.
Also, Chuan got caught at the beginning of that fight, and I feel like if he's sitting back, he can steal a Stormbolt and then use it afterwards. Then it becomes a situation where everybody might just die during that RP Stormbolt combo, but he got caught and picked off and forced to buy back. That also helped LGD out quite a bit. And when it's all said and done, Ferrari's getting close to a refresher, so soon we're going to see the double RP coming out.
Yeah, he's only 650 off it. He just needs the recipe. And I want to say as well just now, the game where there was one game where Xiao was playing the Sven as well, and he was going for this type of build where he didn't have too much of items in the late game, and it was down to just Sylar and the anti-mage to carry them. And it was against Burning Spear, and it was because again his Sven was not anywhere near the items that he need to have in the late game to deal any sort of damage.
Yeah, Sven can really deal with illusion-based heroes late game. He's one of the very best at doing it, up there with heroes like Gyrocopter, but he needs the big items. You need, things like the Data List, the Armlet, those really beat even Assault Caress, those huge right-click items that just allow you to cleave heroes down and muscle your way in and be very tanky and survivable.
Madness. Yeah, usually they get Muscle Madness Armlets at 30 minutes, Muscle Madness, Armless BKB, and your drum at 30 minutes. Or even 25 minutes.
Yeah, the Mask of Madness in this game is rather dangerous because you're up against Demonic Purge, you're up against the Juggernaut Ultimate. There's a lot of ways to deal with you, but at this point, I wouldn't expect to see it. Still, I would like to see him go for some more DPS. I don't think they can afford to put all their eggs in one basket because IG has several baskets full of eggs, and even the Shadow Demon could be the third basket to go along with the Luna and the Juggernaut. So many baskets, so few hands to hold them.
Yeah, and we were already questioning. We didn't even look forward to the other day when we were already talking about the Shadow Demon being the carry when he was up against the Phantom Lancer. He was the one dealing even far superior more damage than his own anti-mage in the fight.
I want to point out, Faith has stolen Yao's wand. Yao dropped his wand in the last fight to steal the gem because IG lost their gem. So Faith said, "Fine, I'm going to steal your wand then. We'll call it even, or magic stick." But this is a shout out to Pyrian Flax because he loves picking up other people's items that he can't use. Not often you see a pro player do it.
The only 2 items you can use when you here he goes, disruption on the illusions.
Here we go.
His own arm.
But he needs things to attack to make the army.
Yeah, the only things you can pick up and use are Divine and the Gem. Other than that,
And consumables, but
yeah, consumables and the wards as well. But I don't think anyone's gonna give you their wards.
the game drags on, and the Luna's got the Butterfly, but Butterfly coming soon for Sylar. He's going to be devastating in this next fight. And then it comes down to, can they get the disruption off? Can they steal the illusions? Can they steal the wall? We're going to find out soon. YYF is in a little bit of trouble. He's going to be forced to back off. He is going to get away to safety. They're going to forfeit this tower.
Shiva as well. Yao has a Shiva.
This might be the timing for LGD. Roche is about to spawn. It is up, actually.
Yeah, and they have, even though they had the gem, they didn't devote this ward right here and here. They didn't scout the map enough, and I think that if they try to go for the top tower,
it's gonna be Roche for IG.
It wouldn't be the right choice for LGD because look at IG, they're already rotating.
Oh, LGD is expecting this.
Is this gonna be the thing where you said before, where you try to go top and push the tower, and you smoke and try to go to Roshan to catch out the enemy because they'll be thinking you're going to go push top and they're going for the Roshan. It's gonna be big if they do it.
It's a pump fake, but IG smoked up and they don't see anyone on the map right now. They have to be suspicious. They're gonna have a positional disadvantage in this fight. Roche is starting to fall a little bit, but Joe's coming in. He's gonna reveal everything out. Gets Phantom Lance, but then will just look to run away. So now the standoff begins. There won't be an ambush. It'll be a head-on fight.
And the Shadow Demon's poison, for a moment there, was revealing the position of the Sven and the Phantom Lancer. And the lanes are really not too good for... They have to TP back and they can look...
they can recall him, but if anyone else has to back, that could be trouble. Joe, once again, trying to dodge the Stormbolt with the Manta, but this time not able to quite time it right. In they go. Sylar's recalled to the fight. Xiao 8 BKBs. And then just stands there and watches as everybody retreats. There's still a BKB up on Joe. I don't know that the Sven BKB makes or breaks the fight for LGD, but it's just one tool they won't have at their disposal.
Yeah, he's just that tank where he goes in and stuns and be a mid shield for the Phantom Lancer. He's not the... even... I can tell that even the Darkseer deals more damage than him in the fight right now.
Oh yeah. Just with the Shivas, and also provides a lot more utility. I guess the armor's nice. For the main heroes, of course, not for the other. You're not going to get that.
And it's going to be down to the thing where if LGD is able to initiate a fight on the Shadow Demon or the Rubik...
Joe gets caught! But just going to walk away. What has Rubik stolen? It's a split earth. That could be another way to follow up.
Yeah, they have to pick off, in my opinion. LGD has to win the fight by picking off the Shadow Demon first. Because anyone, if they go on, it's gonna be disrupted, or even the Magnus will be waiting in the wings with the refresher and double reverse polarity. If they are able to pick off the Shadow Demon first, right before he's able to disrupt any of the PR illusions, it could be one of the game-changing fights.
Surgeon from Yao, he's gonna vacuum Ferrari back, but Ferrari skewers him up towards the tower. Yao is very, very tanky though, even skewered into the tower with 4 here surrounding him. He just walks away, no problem.
He surges away, not walks away.
He was actually forced staff to safety there and then surged. And Joe goes top. Joe's up to 3.4k. He's still outfarming the PL. This is very impressive from Joe, but he's got to get out of here quickly.
And DDC has a Ghost Scepter up, and who else has a Ghost Scepter up? It could be very important for the supports to have the Ghost Scepter against the Juggernaut RP.
Another big item. There's the refresher on Mag.
Yeah, he has it already, right? Even before that fight. They're going to try to contest this fight, and without any vision here, it could be good for IG.
How does
LGD doesn't have any vision?
How does nobody have vision up that hill? You almost always see it from one team when this tower's remaining. At this point in the game.
No idea, LD. I think it's just expired. I remember LGD having a vision up there on the hill. Now IG has their own vision.
And this is LGD. I like how they're fighting this. They're not just jumping in; they're just sieging away. You see the supports very far back on the sidelines. Yao's waiting to jump in with that Shivas, and Joe's got to be careful here. If he gets caught by a Stormbolt, he's got to be quick on that Manta, quick on that BKB. The vacuum from the sidelines. It was Yao who came in, but now Joe just manning up. NARP from Ferrari as Joe was running away. Not the perfect timing from them. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Faith hasn't really managed to get an Illusion Army going yet. He's going to melt. DDC charges in. RP number 2 now skewering them all back. But where's the follow-up? There's your follow-up to Split Earth, but still not quite enough. Joe chasing, trying to bring everyone down. He's starting to do it. The Peel Illusions just enough. He will fall. And in comes YYF, wants to bring down Sylar. Sylar's low, but Sylar will escape. They don't have a gem at this moment. Yao running, trying to survive. If they kill him, they get the gem too. Luna bought back. A big expense for IG. Remember, Roshan is up right now, and they may be looking to go for it. They actually want Sylar. He's running. Will he be able to escape? Still no gem. I think they used dust and it just wore off. Yeah, it just wore off.
Oh, now Rubik bought a gem of his own.
How many gems have we already seen? I think this is the 3rd gem purchase this game.
And this is one of the games where we didn't have to talk about the teams. Why are you not having a gem? They got it so early.
I have to say, Sylar's doing a nice job in these fights of just sitting on the sidelines until the RPs come out, and then he jumps in and goes to work.
And it's also more of the point where you pointed out the combination of the RP and the Luna wasn't that good. When he RP in and the Luna was backing off, it wasn't the best combination and timing as well.
And in spite of all that, they get Roche. Aegis and Cheese going to them. And it's on the Juggernaut.
Buy anything, he seems a bit too poor for my
YYF, I think he bought back in the last fight. I think he might have bought back 1 or 2 other times this game. And he's 0-4. That's the other big thing. He has no kills and a lot of deaths.
Almost has an eel scepter as well. He's going for the eels.
Oh, this is going to be another... They can save that disruption to use it on the PL. They can just Yules whoever's jumping in to initiate for LGD. Or Yules yourself even if you're Chuan. They have a lot of ways to just survive that initial wave of initiation.
And when you look at LGD's lineup, Eels is so good because the only crucial engaging stun is the Stormhammer, and you could always heal yourself to dodge it, and it's pretty easy to do it. After that, it will be more or less you're safe because there's nothing much other than the slow from the lance to get you.
Actually, every single hero except for Mag can now dodge it. Juggernaut can Blade Fury, Shadow Demon can self-disrupt, Luna can Manta or BKB dodge it, and then of course Rubik can Yules himself. So everybody can dodge Stormbolt except for that Mag. And you know, if Mag gets Stormbolted, I don't see him dying before he gets off his ults anyway.
Unless he's right next to a position of an army of illusions.
Remember, Cleave and Glaives are 2 of the best tools late game, and look at that Juggernaut. If YYF ever gets big, he will be able to cleave through those illusions pretty quickly. He's not really big at all, though, right now.
He is very, very tiny.
This is a very small Juggernaut.
What, 15 minutes Juggernaut having just a Yasha and drums, basically move speed Juggernaut, that's all. He's
a race car, but at some point you gotta man up and fight. And this is not really a man up and fight level of items.
He's sort of just chucking the healing ward and dealing omniscience damage. That's all he is right now.
Winter, this game too, it's already up to 51 minutes. We could easily see this go longer. Both of these teams scale well into the late game. I mean, honestly, everybody should have their popcorn ready to go now because we may be in for the long haul. Tier 2 still standing for LGD, and of course, IG having Aegis Cheese and Roshan advantage. It is going to be hard for either team to break the base.
And the past 70 minutes game, I think PL lost 1 and won 1. Well, there was one game the PL lost was the anti-mage, against the anti-mage, which he lost. That was because they got 4 racks behind very early on, and they still were able to prolong the game so much with the PL. And with this game, LGD is not 4 racks down. I think that they'll be in a very huge advantage if they reach just any more near the ultra late game, because Phantom Lancer is just so much of a beast late game later on with his illusions, and he just finished up a full MKB.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to take home to your loved ones.
Luna as well has her own MKB to deal with the evasion of the Phantom Lancer. They both actually built the similar items.
Very, very similar.
Joe is going to disassemble his Shankle to make a power chest, I think. Or even a Boots of Travel. No, I think Boots of Travel.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's a Boots of Travel.
Oh, and this is going to help them deal with... Because LGD, one thing they've going in their favor is they have Keeper of the Light. They have the better split push because of that. And PL, of course. So this allows Joe to do what the PL was doing in the earlier fights. He can go and, you know, push out the lanes and then Boots of Travel in to join his team.
I wonder if Keeper of the Light will be the first person in the game to build a Side of Vice. They could really use the disable.
It could be very crucial. Even, especially for the Mag, if they can somehow hex him when he jumps in to try and RP. And they could burst him down, I feel, especially if the PL has that Army of Illusions going. And if you don't get the RPs off, IG is not winning a fight without big RPs.
he doesn't have anything to protect himself. I don't know if he should be able, should consider to go for a Ghost Scepter to really protect himself from the Phantom Lancer. It's really, if he just gets caught out, he's just dead. Probably the Ghost Scepter isn't a very good option as well because Diffuser can actually cancel it, and he still has 5 charges on it.
Yeah, maybe you'd rather just see the Force Staves or the Yule Scepters.
I think 4 staff would be ideal. Maybe he's just saving for buyouts at the moment.
They want to group up and push while this Aegis is up. They will have the cheese still for YYF, who's up to 4.7k. I would like to see him buy an item here, but it looks like he is going to save for buyback. He could still buy something and have it. Well,
probably finish his Manta to be able to push faster.
Here comes the siege. Notice a single PL illusion is going to go in to try and kill off that healing ward, but it may end up creating an army. In goes the RP from Ferrari, but where's the backup? Oh, there you go. RP number 2 is dropped. Only connects on Yao, though, and everything just gets totally chaotic. YYF charging it with Blade Fury. Yao being picked off. Sylar full HP, but unable to fight, and the team that has Mag, it seems every game, is getting that big initiate. Darkseer, no buyback. Keeper of the Light, no buyback. They're going to be fighting this 3v5 for 30 seconds. 4v5 without the Darkseer, their big team fight specialist, for 60, and they're not split pushing. Ferrari wants to skewer him back. What incredible team play from IG. They bring down Sylar. He's going to drop to this. He doesn't have buyback either. Oh no. No buyback on 3 heroes. This may just be multiple lanes of racks. I thought it would go on for a while. I think I jinxed LGD. Xiaoweight's dropping low. IG looking to get the kill on him. He's barely going to live. They've gotten 1 lane of racks. They want to get more. You don't want to base trade. No, they're going for the throne. They're going for the jugular. Winter, this might be the end. In fact, it looks like it is.
I think it is the end. I think it's the end, ID.
He who has Mag wins all the team fights late game. And another skewer. Just brutal to watch. It looks like maybe a bad initiation at first, but Ferrari managed to skewer 2 back, and LGD tap out. They're down 0-2 going into tomorrow in this best out of 5.
GG. That RP. They're saying it time and time again when there's always a Mag.
You gotta credit Ferrari. Very decisive there. We've questioned his aggression on other heroes, but this game, he delivered when it really mattered in a very close game that really felt like it could have gone a lot longer and could have gone either way.
Yeah, and I was really surprised that they just picked the Darkseer in the first phase, first pick for LGD, and they didn't go for the Mag as usual. And it seems like it came back to haunt them because it was a Ferrari Mag that was RPing them to their deaths.
It ends with a bang, not a whimper, but LGD China, they head into day number 2, which will start tomorrow at 20 SGT, which is GMT +8, the same start time as today. LGD China are down 0-2 against IG. I don't know if anyone has ever 3-0'd, gone 3-0 when they're down 0-2 to IG. I'd love to hear the stats on that, but it's going to be a tall order for them. IG with a clear advantage here. That wraps it up for today's coverage of the G League. IG 1 game away from the Grand Finals. If they win the next game, they'll be facing LGD International, who will be looking to avenge their fallen Chinese brothers. But LGD China not entirely out of it yet. They have 1 more shot. I'm LD, he's Winter. We are Beyond the Summit. Thank you all very much for tuning in. More G League action coming up tomorrow. If you missed today's action, we will have a rebroadcast starting in the next hour and a half to 2 hours. If you enjoy Winter's casting, be sure to follow him. Twitter.com/DotaWinter, Facebook.com/winner.dota. Last but not least, he streams a lot of his own pub play, and he's a funny one to boot. Twitch.tv/winner. As for myself, Facebook, Twitter.com/LDDota. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Enjoy the highlights, which will be coming up soon. We'll see you tomorrow at 20 SGT for more G League action.